You have a backbone, someone who performs really, really high, and they want to move into that high potential category, but you limit their ability to move into that potential category while they're going to turn into an iceberg. That's defined as a dead-end job.
Acknowledging the fact that the overwhelming majority of your staff is going to, at some point, hit a backbone type role.
Sure.
You're gonna have people that maintain a higher level of potential until they get to the point of maxed out
performance.
Yes. So like once that hits and you see the kind of the end of the road of
Sure.
like how much can you actually put into this, they may be advancing. They may but to a point, like this is the idea that we've been talking about for the entire duration of the podcast. Like your backbones are the people that stop and they start to build the town as the rest of the group starts to continues west.
Yeah.
Now that role is something that I think goes, in my experience, I've seen it go completely unnoticed. It's taken for granted.
Yeah.
And that was the big reason why I wanted to start to integrate this chart when I first saw it a few years ago, because those people that fulfill a high performance, low potential are so horribly valuable to every business.
Absolutely.
Because it's not for those people, the wheel stops spinning.
Yeah, absolutely.
And your people who could be star players can no longer be star players. They are now stuck in essentially the monotony of continuing to turn the wheel.
Yeah, well, it's right. So if you have individuals who want to be star players, but kind of get into the backbone, or even potentially they'll turn. If you don't have enough backbones, your star players will turn into problem childs.
Exactly. Yep.
So I think for us to look at backbones, I think when I think about backbones, kind of like you said, is they keep the wheels turning. Is it's a question of fulfillment. So if you have a high performance individual with low potential, so performance, of course, is that they perform high within their growth plan, and potential is within their potential of professional advancement. So that's tier 4. So if we have someone who really is just nailing their performance reviews twice a year, or however many times your organization chooses to have it, we have at least twice a year touch points. Mm-hmm. And saying they just nail it every single time, but they're really not interested in teaching others. They're really not interested in kind of stepping out. Maybe their personality type doesn't do it or whatever. There's kind of two ways, and I think you had said it before. One is going to be, if you have someone who's performing at a high level, do they have the avenue to then become a star player? So if you have someone who is a backbone, you don't want to keep them in the position where they're a backbone because you need them to be a backbone.
Yep. If
you have someone in that position of a backbone and they want to become a star player and you limit them, mm-hmm. and they don't have the opportunity for growth, they turn into an iceberg, which we'll touch about in just a few minutes. But it's a matter of fulfillment. So if you have, so that's one type of backbone. The other type of backbone is someone, again, where it's like they have an incredible amount of fulfillment from doing that job and doing that job well. Mm-hmm. And culturally, they're doing it well, because sometimes you'll hear the rhetoric of, as long as my tech skills are the best, as long as my doctor skills are the best, nothing else matters. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about someone who, on a role effectiveness, a core value alignment, and a time allocation and usage, they just keep performing high, and they gain an incredible amount of fulfillment from that.
Yep.
Wonderful. Those are the people that keep the wheels turning.
Yep.
The alternative in that first scenario is you have a backbone, someone who performs really, really high, and they want to move into that high potential category, but you limit their ability to move into that potential category while they're going to turn into an iceberg. That's defined as a dead-end job.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
So it's right. So when we're looking at individuals who have really, really high performance, and they have high performance and low potential, they start to lose their fulfillment. They start to lose sight of why they're there. They're starting to lose sight, and maybe they don't even have the same fulfillment or core values of the employer for whatever reason, whatever their purpose is. They don't have the same purpose as their employer. That's the type of people where, like I said, they're going to identify the job as particularly dead end, and then their performance is just going to get worse.
Hey, you made it to the end of the video. Thanks for watching. If you want to watch this full podcast, go ahead and click up here. If you want to watch our newest podcast, go ahead and click down here. And if you want to subscribe to see everything else that we do, go ahead and click right here. Thanks.